And when I was at university, they just drilled into us like the structures of how to write a persuasive essay and critical thinking and how to construct logical arguments and being able to anticipate how somebody might um, critique a case that you were making. And this is also something that my dad would talk about sometimes. And he'd say, if you're people who are really, really into something, if you're really, really passionate and enthusiastic about something, you can develop blind spots. And I think this ability to look at all sides, and we used to practice this too in school with debates and having to debate for debate positions that might not necessarily be your own. And so over the years, it gets easier. You become more analytical, and when you're making cases, you're able to address opposing viewpoints, summarize arguments. Um, by arguments, we don't mean like people fight him, but actually the the case that you're presenting. But now this isn't. I see a lot of people these days um, talking from prejudice. I guess this is the human condition. We're often bounded by superstition and fear and prejudice. But if you cannot even acknowledge, uh, for example, the strengths of opposing viewpoints that even you don't agree with, then maybe you gotta step back and think, are you really being objective? For example, I'm Eastern Orthodox Christian, but I can look at different religions and different expressions of faith and even identify strengths that they have that us Orthodox might be able to benefit from. Like the emphasis that Islam places on the martial values. Martial values meaning like defense of homeland, civic duty as police and military. So these are the martial values. That's like when we speak of martial law, it's a military thing. And how their faith is so fused with everyday life that they don't separate the secular and religious sphere. Okay, that's something I like about Islam. And of course, looking at history, Christianity was also the same way many times. In the West, we kind of lost that after the Enlightenment. We're looking at evangelical Christianity, for example, and seeing how they're very fervent and they take their faith seriously, and there's an emphasis on modesty and values. All those are good things. Or like how in the Roman Catholic Church, they're very organized, and there's not a lot of doubt about which expressions of Catholicism are canonical or not, because everybody looks to Rome, you know. So there are certain strengths that different expressions of faith and different religions have, and different weaknesses. I say that even as an Orthodox Christian, I can criticize my own tradition. Sitting back and taking a bird's eye view, looking at how Christianity's been abused over the years. You know, like the Salem witch trials, the Crusades, the Inquisitions, all those things. Not taking these positions like sports teams where you have to hold on and just defend, which is what a lot of people are doing. So, yeah, learning to think critically, learning to evaluate your own positions and the cases you're making, and thinking, how could people approach this? How might people criticize it? This is all what it means to be a rational person and an educated person. I think that there should be more of an emphasis on getting people to think for themselves and not just accepting the party line, but actually be able to critique different things. So that's my words of wisdom for the day. Take it or leave it for what it's worth.